Okay, here we go. Take 3. How we doing now? How are we doing now? Take 3 tonight. Switching devices. You tell me, how are we doing this time around? Are we finally doing better? You guys let me know. If just good old-fashioned phone is doing better. And I'm going to try to switch over. I'm not getting... Hello again. Much better. Okay, so I think it's a Facebook issue, not a my device issue. And I'm able to see your comments, so that's good. Hello, Jennifer, Adele, Dazzle. All right, Rick is giving me an okay. I owe Rick an email. I know that. I know he's in my list. No cutting out now. Okay. Yeah, I think it was a Facebook issue. For whatever that's worth. I will, that does it to us every once in a while. Normally it's no problems, but, every once in a while it does it to us. So, it is great to have you here. I'm glad that we've got good sound now, even as I move around, because you know you can't keep me sitting still. Sitting still is not a Neil thing. It's not a Neil thing. So what I was talking about, and yes, 3 is the charm. Hey, Sylvia, how are you? All right, we're better now. We are better. We're building back better. That's what we're doing. That is what we are doing here. That is what we're doing. But we're a couple days off, actually, from the... What I was talking about was... You'd never guess that the first workplace lawsuit actually happened the end of January a year ago. Here we are on February 1st. We flipped the calendar to it. And a year ago, last January 29th, in a nondescript courthouse in North Texas, a union representing a group of airline pilots filed a workplace lawsuit seeking to halt flights to China. Their concerns centered around an outbreak of the Wuhan coronavirus. Which seemed at that point as a faraway problem in the U.S. And nobody even had the name COVID-19. This lawsuit filed on January 30th, 2020 would be the first in over 1,500 COVID-19 related workplace lawsuits that would be filed in the year to follow. So, wow. January 30th of 2020 was the first lawsuit. And the vast majority of cases are still being litigated. Only 25% of the cases filed in federal court have been closed. And only 4% of the state court cases have been closed. Which also shows that federal court is better for the average employer defendant. Other cases regarding COVID. Wrongful discharge, 35% have been closed. Warren Act cases, 30%. Unsafe workplace, 23% of the cases have been closed. Wage and hour, 22% of the cases. Remote work and leave conflicts, 16% of the cases have been closed. Employment discrimination, 10%. Negligence and wrongful death, 10%. Retaliation and whistleblower, 8%. And 35% of pandemic-related class actions have been closed at this point. So that is interesting. I mean, it's just, since we list middle of March, really, depending, I say we're on week 45, 46 of this, depending on which week in March you count, depending on where you are in the country. but that lawsuits actually started getting filed in this country in January about it is something I wouldn't have known. A lot has been made about, online being where everybody is shopping now and everything else, and the only place to shop, and how online is gobbling up all the market share. And you would think it would be a huge percentage of sales would be online right now. But here are the actual stats from 2020. According to... This is actually stats from the US Census Bureau. At the height of last year, 19% of sales were done on e-commerce. At the low of last year, 13%. And at the end of the year, 16% on the year. On the year, it worked out to a 16% share of retail sales happened online. 16% of all sales. So the low was 13. The high, March, April was 19%. March, April, early May, and then on the year we finished out at 16% as the share according to the US Census Bureau. So that means a lot of retail sales are still happening in stores, and that's important to know. That your store still matters, your physical space still matters. So many have questioned that as we turn the corner here on things, but your physical store still matters. I like the headline on this one. So nice it sells twice. So nice it sells twice. Nordstrom has partnered with Goodfair, a secondhand clothing site, to launch monthly online vintage drops. Last week it wasn't just... the first drop sold out before they could even take a screenshot of the shop. Goodfair's first collection for Nordstrom included 50 pieces ranging from graphic tees to old-school sweatshirts in Gen Z-oriented fashion. The site defines vintage as anything produced pre-2000. Vintage is now pre-2000. Oh my God, I am ancient. I am ancient. Vintage is pre-2000. I still remember what I was wearing on New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, 1999 into 2000. I mean, I had beepers. I had multiple beepers on. And phones, because the end of the world was coming. So vintage is now anything pre-2000. Goodfair chose Nordstrom because of its elevated branding and potential to intro Goodfair to shoppers beyond its devoted TikTok following. And Nordstrom's point of view is they are trying to be more responsible. Yes, Y2K, Kitty, you and me, we're there. We're there. I was supporting so many things on Y2K that people thought were going to come to an end, and no, the world continued on. But Nordstrom had tested an in-house resale concept called See You Tomorrow last year, which did not work out. And Nordstrom has tripled its order with Goodfair for next month. And Goodfair hopes to eventually sell secondhand in all big box retailers. So, again, just something else to keep an eye on, especially if you're not on the TikTok, which I am not. But something to keep an eye on. I got gotta say, I think I stole this from you, Kitty. I think I stole this from you. Although I have had our friend Nebraska Angie, talked about this for years. And it came on a typewriter, so it must be you, Kitty. Our monthly mantra, February, is about being fearless or fearless. Some days you just have to fear less about what's ahead, and others you have to be fearless. Whichever one you are in this moment, just remember one thing. You've got this. You've got this. February is about being fearless or fearless. Some days you just have to fear less about what's ahead, and others you have to be fearless. Whichever one you are in this moment. In this moment, just remember one thing. You've got this. It's total Angie. It's total Angie. But wasn't this on your site today? On your... Oh, was it? Oh, it's the graphics you got from Angie. Duh. It's an Angie graphic. No wonder. We were talking about that the other night. Angie's graphics. It's totally an Angie graphic. But I saw it on your page, I think, today. Duh, Neil. Duh. But it is. It is the mindset, people. It is, I say this all the time. What mindset are you going after things on? What mindset are you getting up and going after things? Hey, Kelly, great to have you here tonight. I mean, we just finished January, and for many of you, it was surprising for a J month. I've had many discussions with you about how good January was, okay? And that can be relative to how months were in 2020. I've had some of you who had a great January versus other years' January, which is even better. But it is a mindset. It is a mindset how you go after this, how we attack the next thing, what we get into, where your head is. It's a head game. This is all a head game, people. This is a head game, and your head has to be in the right spot. Your head has to be in the right spot. I can't stress that enough, that your head has to be in the right spot for this. Otherwise, it does not happen. It does not happen. It just, that is the key to everything, And when you wake up with that mindset, when you wake up that you fear less or you are fearless, okay, when you wake up and you charge forward, okay, it is how you approach the day. It is how you take the bull by the horns. It is how you race forward. And that is so important in business. It is so important in our mindsets to work that way. And so that is why I share that. Much has been made in the news about Biden's $1.9 trillion. It is a head game for customers also. And when you have the virus is still in control of this economy. The virus is in control of this economy. And I shared this with you the other night, I think, Kitty, when we were in one of the tables at the winter seminar. But for those of you that don't know, and I'm not out there dating or anything, but what is the new number one question on dating sites? Okay, one of the new top questions that people ask on dating sites, or people want to know. Okay, have you thought about this? I mean, I know many of you are not out there on the dating sites, okay? But some of you are, okay? What is the new hot question on the dating sites? Any guesses? By those of you that I didn't share this with the other night? Any guesses on that? I'm going to share it with you. I don't want you to... I'm more scared about what some of the... have you had a COVID test? No, the new hot question... Have you had COVID? That's a good one, so, You guys are close, okay? The new badge of honor on dating sites is, have you gotten vaccinated? Have you gotten vaccinated? Okay, it's no longer, have you been tested? Did you have COVID? Are you a masker? Are you an anti-masker? It's, have you gotten vaccinated? That is the new hot search term on dating sites, is to see if people have been vaccinated and to seek out partners that have been vaccinated. I would like to say I'm making that up, but I'm not really that creative. That is the hot new question. A hot new question. So if you're out there on the dating sites, you already knew that, I'm sure. I shake my head at that. I shake my head at it. But that's, people are excited to talk about it. They're excited to talk about not only have they been vaccinated or if they've been vaccinated, but people are talking about who they know that's been vaccinated. Okay? There is a general excitement about getting vaccinated, and that is good for the country. That is good for the future economy, that people want to get vaccinated. So, it is good for the hope of the future. So, and that's what we wake up each day for, is the hope of the future. So, that part of it is good. So I'm excited about that. A lot's been in the news with the president's $1.9 trillion COVID spending proposal. Okay, COVID relief proposal. And tonight he met with some Republicans, a group of 10 Republicans, okay, who had a $600 billion proposal. So you got a $1.3 billion split between the two of them. But they're talking. This is a good thing. Democrats are saying to go it alone. I mean, ultimately, getting more, putting the gas on the economy is a good thing. I know all of the long-term conversations about debt and government debt and passing this on to our children, but we need to keep the economy moving and keep it moving forward. So I think the fact that they're having conversations and both sides are taking it seriously is a good thing. I think that is that is encouraging. Hopefully we will see some steps forward, and they will come to some middle ground. The real push on it now, a lot of the things expire in March. Okay, at the end of March, a lot of the current the things in the last bill at the end of December expire at the end of March or sometime in March. Unemployment benefits, food assistance, the second PPP. A lot of these things go away in March, and with that, trying to avert it not at the 11th hour, okay, would be really a good thing for the American people and for the economy. That'll keep spending going and keep the economy going and keep households from stressing. So if they could come to an agreement on this, I'd be really excited to have that sooner versus later. Would be a good thing. There's a lot of things in it. So I mean, looking at the individual line items in it, where the money will actually fall on it, I don't know yet. Hey, Michelle is live with us after her live video. Great to have you here, Michelle. Hope you sold lots tonight. Hang on a second, I'm going through my notes. Where was my other note here? Let's talk a little bit PPP tonight, because there's a couple PPP that that I'm concerned about, or at least want to get you in the zone now. First and foremost, I want to talk about some of you have been paying people or have had offers from people to assist you with your PPP application. Just the basic, we'll help you get your second PPP application approved, and we'll help you get all your paperwork together for your second PPP, and charging you hundreds of dollars to, I think the most expensive I've heard is like $2,000 of people getting charged to help them complete and quote unquote get the PPP application. You know, if it's somebody that you already have an existing business relationship with, like your accountant or bookkeeper that's having to do extra work to get the things in line for this application, I don't have a problem with a fee for their time for somebody that you already do business with. But don't hire one of these outside people or somebody that called you or something to do that. The other thing with this, and it's something that a lot of people don't know, is you can actually have an agent represent you, like you have an agent, if you were selling a house, okay? A real estate agent that gets a commission when you sell your house, okay? Your accountant can get a fee from many banks, okay, for helping you with the PPP application. It just has to be notified. The bank has to be notified at the time of application, because the bank will pay them the fee out of the fees the bank gets from the SBA. So there's ways to make that happen if somebody else pays it, that it's not coming out of your pocket. I don't want to see somebody getting a $10,000 PPP and giving somebody $2,000 to help them with the paperwork. And I know the paperwork and everything isn't your wheelhouse, but most you have PPP. Some of these outside firms, I mean, I remember during the first PPP when they came out a little bit, and they're back in full force now, trying to shake people down, and I just don't want you to shake that. The other thing that I want to keep in mind with is I know many of you who already got your second PPP. I'm coming out again. It's Facebook, not me. I'm right here. I haven't moved. I don't have an extra mic. I'm right here. I'm not moving. I'm standing. This isn't a good night. Facebook being bad. I'm sorry, guys. Facebook's being so bad. I'm going to put a picture tomorrow night. Let's close this out with the good night, because I know that I'm doing this. It's Facebook. Facebook's got the winter blues. Night with the good morning. Good night is how we start. Our good morning tonight is good morning. Dubious, but doing this. Our night is good night. Full of singing it out. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abrams. I do like a good party, a wedding, a Facebook party when it wants to work. I will be back here tomorrow night at more 8-ish, and hopefully Facebook. I don't control Facebook. I'm going to get back to a lot of your emails and messages again tomorrow. I've caught up on a bunch of them today. I will continue that tomorrow. I think I will be snowed in still. But I will keep you all updated. I hope you have a great day. And know that you, and most importantly you, yes you, you're not alone running this store. I'll see